Welcome back to the For Your Good podcast. I'm your host, Zae, and I'm back with my co-host, Buki. And today, babe, and I'm not ever going to tell you the topic beforehand because I want to just see like your actual just thoughts off the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
So today I want to talk about our friendship and how close we are and if our dynamic you consider would be codependent. So first I want to ask you generally, what do you think it means or what does it mean to you if someone says that person is codependent? Like what does codependency look like to you or what do you think it means? Like if someone was too codependent on you, what would that look like?
Um, I think maybe the toxic stuff, like you gotta you gotta text me
Mm.
like all types of day, but that's different for us because we talk on the phone all the time. So I don't
But
know.
I mean outside of me and you, if you were with somebody, what do you think codependency means? If someone says that person is codependent or this is a codependent relationship,
I have no idea. I'm
you
not
don't
gonna
think
hold
you
you.
know?
I have
No?
no idea.
Well,
I don't
that's
know what that means
interesting.
at all.
Okay. So the reason why I asked is because I was on Threads and I made a post basically saying that my husband, when he leaves, from the time he leaves the house to the time he gets to work, and he's at work all day. We're basically on the phone all day while he's at work. And I jokingly was like, "Oh, is this codependent or healthy?" So I had a lot of different like opinions in the post. So I want to know what you think from the standpoint of a man, because I also had men commenting, and the men were like, "Yeah, nah, we never. Like, I would never do that, right?" Then I also had some women that were kind of like, no, this is smothering me just thinking about it." But then you had all the other women, which I'm pretty sure were married, that were like, "Yeah, me and my husband do this, or I love this for you guys, right?" So what do you think about our being on the phone all day? Or like just talk about what our friendship is like to you and if it's uncomfortable, do you think it's unhealthy? Like what's your opinion of it?
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't have any
Okay. You don't
problems
think
with
it's
it.
unhealthy the way
No,
that
I
we
don't
are
think so.
friends?
I don't think so.
So it's like what are some of the things that you think we do um that are like a basis of our friendship?
Yeah, we talk on the phone all
A
day.
lot, yeah. What else?
Um, I think just being able to do our own things, like
Mm,
whether we're in different rooms or the same rooms, I think
yeah.
that's a big indicator of our friendship.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
I think we laugh about stupid stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's never any like effort put into the things we laugh about.
I
I think
agree.
that's like a friendship thing.
I
You know what
agree.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know.
Do you think that we're able to be on the phone because of our friendship, or do you think that it's just because we love each other? Like, what do you think is the reason that we can do that and not feel smothered?
Because we don't hate each other.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
yeah.
Yeah, that's weird for somebody to say I feel smothered being on the phone all the time. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't like that person. That don't
Yeah.
make sense.
I mean, like, yeah,
That's my opinion.
I agree. The one girl, she was just like, yeah, I feel smothered just by reading this. And I personally think, and I want your opinion, I think that's what's missing from a lot of marriages is the friendship. Because you and I have spent time together all the time. That's always how we've been. From the time we got together, when we were living at my mom's house, we were together all the time, all
Hmm.
day. Until you went to the military. You go to the military, obviously there's distance between us. We went through what we went through, but we were always friends. Like that dynamic of us always being around each other and doing everything together was us all the time.
Right.
Now, in the beginning, when we first started dating, I wasn't used to having someone in my space all the time, so I was uncomfortable. Because this man, in the beginning, anywhere, like when we lived together at my mom's house, if I was upstairs, he was upstairs. If I went downstairs, he followed me. And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't know how to express to him
That's
that I
probably
needed my
codependent.
space.
I
That, you
don't think
think that was
maybe
codependent?
that's codependent. I really don't know what that word means. I don't.
So the little definition of codependent is basically you need the other person for some type of emotional stability. Like you can't do something without that person, basically. Like I'm paraphrasing, but it's like codependent, like that person can't do anything without the other person. Like you need that person there. Like you need them
Yeah.
for stability or emotional support or whatever. I don't think that we're codependent. I think that we are just best friends.
I'm trying to think of an example of a relationship where I've seen that. I don't even think I've ever seen that.
Yeah,
That
me
might be one
either.
of them TikTok things where people just be saying stuff. They don't know what they're talking about.
I think it's like one of those things I could see. I've never personally seen it either, but I think maybe it's one of those things where like maybe someone has gone through something traumatic and so now they need that person there all the time to talk to them all the time to feel better, you know? Like it's very specific.
For that person to need them to be
Mhm.
there sounds like something that's not real. That sounds like they confusing it with somebody who's controlling.
You think so?
and you want that person to be there so you can keep eyes on them. You know, like it
I
doesn't sound.
see.
I can't think of
I
any
can see,
relationship.
yeah, that could be a part of it. Like a symptom of the codependency could be you need to have some level of control, so you got to be around them all the time.
Yeah, I think so. The
I can
codependent
see
thing
that.
doesn't make any sense to me
Yeah.
because
Okay.
the word dependent means like you like you said, you
You're
need them to
depending
be
on
there.
them.
But I can't. I don't know. I can't
Yeah.
think of any relationship I've ever been in that
Was like that.
the thing that you're talking about, it's always came across as a controlling thing, not a need. Like you don't
Okay.
need somebody to be anywhere with you.
I
You
see what
want
you're
them to.
saying. You want them to
You
be.
know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. That's a good
Yeah,
point. That's a different
that's my
perspective.
opinion. I could be wrong.
Yeah. But I think, like I was saying, I think from a lot of marriages, friendship is missing because I don't think I could ever understand. Okay, so let me ask you this, right? The concept of your spouse being your best friend. Do you think that that's necessary? Do you think that it just depends on the person? What's your thoughts about your spouse should be your best friend?
I don't think they should be your best friend.
What
I
do you
think they
think?
end up being your best friend.
Okay.
Because I think like even in the beginning of the relationship, like the honeymoon phase, like that's when you're always on the phone, you're talking, you're getting to know
Yeah.
each other a lot. Then suddenly that just becomes the person you want to be around all the
Yeah.
time.
But
That's your
once,
best
I
friend.
mean, like once you're around them all the time, once you've been married for a couple of years, should your spouse be your best friend or one of your best friends?
I would say yeah, one of your
Yeah.
best friends. You still need a best friend.
Of
Like you
course.
need you need that certain person that you do talk to outside of a
course.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't think that that's a, because I've heard some men say that having their wives as their best friend, they don't really see it that way. Like they don't want to call their wives their best friend. They don't want to. They want to just have the other best friend.
That's weird.
And why do you think it's weird? Like, give me your thoughts.
Because I think a lot of people have more than one best friend.
I can see
So
that.
like if you don't see your wife as one of your best friends, do you like your wife? Like that's weird.
I agree.
I enjoy being around you.
Yeah, me too. So when I made the post and everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is unhealthy. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like there was this one person I went back and forth with and I shouldn't have. But they were just like trying to impose their opinion as fact. And I was like, you can have your opinion, but just because you say it's one thing doesn't mean that's the truth of it all.
Yeah, it could be unhealthy if you're in an unhealthy relationship. I'm sure it's unhealthy. Like what?
Right. I don't know. I think that one thing that's helped us in our marriage is our friendship. Like I think our friendships has kind of been a big part in us being together. And our friendship, I think, is the reason why we still choose to love each other.
Well, we were friends first.
Yes, we were good. We were really good friends first. And that's one thing I told people. We've been on the phone together like that since we were 14, just talking about everything and anything. And so now, and I want to talk about this too, because even like during COVID, I remember a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, like I got to be in the house with him all day or be in the house with her all day. It was like breaking relationships up. COVID didn't really bother us because we're always in the house together. We're always doing something. Always. And I remember someone was like, well, when do you have your personal time? I said, I can have my personal time anytime.
Whenever you want, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think, again, some people are not friends with their husbands or their wives. So it's weird to them. It's taboo. When you have your personal time, like you said, we could be in the house all day, be in two separate rooms. That's our personal time. But we're still in the house.
And then again, people are different. Some people are more, but I would consider you an introvert. I was going to say some people are more introverts, but I would consider you an introvert.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that.
But yes, maybe some people just don't like to be around people that much. Like they're like their idea of personal time, like they really gotta like yo, leave me alone. Like they really gotta do that.
I see that. So you think it's a matter of liking the person? You have to like your spouse in order for them to be a best friend.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you have to like anybody for them to be your best friend.
I think so too. Like I think there are a lot of people that are married and not that it's a bad thing, because I guess it's not bad if you don't consider your spouse as your best friend. But like, when do you have those those friend moments?
I think it is bad because what else? I mean, she's a partner, yeah, but like if you don't see her as your best friend, then I can't see what else you see her as.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I see. Because
like she's just a
outside of a partner, what other connection is there? What type of connection is there?
right. Like is she just a?
Are y'all laughing together?
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you can laugh with people that aren't your best friend.
That's
I guess
true.
you can enjoy people's time that isn't your best friend too. But
yeah.
If that's the person you're choosing to spend the rest of your life with, I would hope it would be somebody you would consider one of your best friends.
Yeah. So there was another question I wanted to ask. Let me get my notes because I don't remember what it was, but I write down all the podcast ideas so I don't forget. Okay. There was something else that I wanted to talk about that goes along with this, and I can't remember it. But yeah, I definitely wanted to address that because there are a lot of people talking about that's a negative thing, our best friend, like what we do. So do you think that when we went through our phase of like being separated, one of the things that kind of made you like, okay, I want to be with her, I need to be with her again, was our friendship. Do you think you could find that friendship with anybody else, like our type of friendship?
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
That's a loaded question.
It is. I agree.
I was. That's fucking
Okay, let me
terrible.
not say you can't, because I know you can, obviously. It's possible.
Yeah.
Do you think that it would feel the same or like hold the same weight? I don't know how to word it outside of like, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think being a friend with me is different than being a best friend with a different woman?
I think it depends on the person, but I think because there was situations where I found myself really liking a certain person
Yes.
and things about that person.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say I can see myself becoming best friends with a different woman,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't necessarily mean the relationship is still going to be good.
I see.
For example, we're best friends, but we're also opposites. So it
Yes.
works.
Mm-hmm.
But in a different relationship with a different woman,
Mm-hmm.
it was looking like we could be best friends. Like it was feeling like that, but we were the same. And that was
And
awful.
that was bad.
That was awful.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
So
so
it's like
you
kind of
believe
like
in the, yeah, I see what you're saying. I personally think, I don't think I could have another friendship like I had with you, with another person. Because I think for me, friendship has become like this kind of sacred thing. I know that sounds super dramatic. Like, friendship is really important to me. I don't think I'd be able to. I don't think I'd want to. Let me put it that way. I could. Anything's possible. But I don't think I'd want to. I wouldn't want to foster that with somebody else. Because, like,
I think you could.
Mm-hmm. Well, you think obviously I could,
I think you could,
but I don't think I want to. I wouldn't want to. There's a difference.
Yeah, well, no one wants to.
Right. I'm saying I could, but
possible.
I don't know, babe. Like, my level of comfort with you is different.
That's true.
And I'm a very
like. But you've also only been in like 2 relationships, so
right.
It's like,
but the type of person that I am, I'm very, like you said, I'm introvert. I'm very kind of not reserved, but like I don't want to show people facets of me.
You gotta think about it this way: if someone else came along, like let's say like something happened to me, I die. If someone else came along and they have the same attributes as me, and it's been enough time for you to get over me, it's like you could be just as comfortable with somebody else if it's not me.
I could.
That's entirely possible.
But I don't know, because I know me.
Yeah.
And even with you, even though we were friends, it took me a long time to be comfortable with you doing certain things. You know how long it took me to do certain things? So like, if it's not you, then I don't know.
But you gotta think, it's not that much, it's not that long of a time. Like, we've been married almost 9 years. We were friends for what, 4 years? I could die today. You could meet somebody today. 4 years later, you're just as comfortable with that person.
We weren't friends for 4 years. We've been friends for more years than that.
I'm talking about before we got together. It was like what, all through high school, right?
So
4 or 5 years.
From 2014 to when we got married. You mean?
I think so.
So we were from 14
before
to
2014.
19.
We were friends before 2014. Really? 2014 was junior year of high school. Oh, that was when I graduated. No, that was senior year. Yeah, you're tweaking.
So it was 2012?
No, it was like 2011.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So from 2011 to before we got married. So from 2011 to 2016. No,
before we started dating.
So
we
it's 4 years. Okay.
It was like 4 years. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
It feels way longer than that. That's what I'm saying. It's different. The only one.
Something wrong with you.
That's really how I feel, babe.
Oh my goodness.
It feels
That's
longer.
Like, was it Nipsey Hussle's Hussle's wife? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's true. Friendship is like, you know.
I feel it. I know that's what you believe because that's what you want. But realistically,
no, that's what I believe.
Can. Like, it's completely possible.
I know I can. I know that that's possible. I think it's like a matter of me wanting to.
Yeah.
I think it would, if I ever did, it would take me a long time to want to.
Yeah.
Because our friendship is just different. Like, it just is to me. Like, it just is. Like, it's just it's so.
Yeah. I
don't know.
I think it just has good no, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but like pillars or like anchors. Like there's a lot of history there, so it's like it's easier for us to bounce back from things because we have that. Because you have the history of being friends. History, yeah. I think so.
Yeah. I can see that. Okay, you know what? I want to talk about something else, right?
Is it something juicy?
To pivot. It could be.
They want juicy stuff.
Okay. So let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about how having kids impacts intimacy in marriage. So let's talk about intimacy, right? And how things change throughout the years from when you first meet a person and you fall in love to now you have kids and you have life and what that's like.
I think the only thing it does is make you more careful about locking the door and the time of day that you're doing stuff and where you're doing stuff. I don't think it really impacts things that much.
Okay,
if
but
I'm
what
being honest.
about the whole, some marriages, okay, we got to schedule it now because the kids are always around and now we're doing things in life,
Well,
right?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like the time of day, like I think it can become a routine thing because you got to wait for the kids to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But you could also wild out. Like we could just go in that laundry room and go crazy. And
I think we've had a
kids
lot
looking
of,
for us and
yeah, we've had a lot of wilding out moments.
yeah.
I think so. Like kind of like risky, like, yeah, let's try it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we had that. Yeah. But I think, yeah, I think having kids definitely does. Because one thing, like he and I talked about, was the whole like scheduling it, right? And it's funny because some of the couples that I talk to, they say the same thing. Like, oh my gosh, like it's come to this thing where now we have to schedule
Yeah,
it.
it's so
And
whack.
you know, it's funny. I think that men have more of a problem with it than the women do.
Yeah.
And I think it's because maybe it's just a drive thing, like a sex drive kind of thing.
I think so.
Yeah. So
I
like,
think it's more because I don't know. I don't know how it is for y'all, but I think for us it's more like when your brain switches to that mode, your brain switches to that mode. Telling your brain to get into that mode at this particular time because the kids are gonna go to sleep, that's like,
let me ask you this. If a man goes into the room and his wife is just there and ready, you don't have to think about it because now it's
Correct.
switched.
Correct.
So even if it's scheduled, it's also about making it, when it's scheduled, making it spontaneous. Like having some facet about it that's like, oh.
I get, because I mean, there's different types of scheduling it. If you ask me, like if I'm at work and you're texting me, oh, tonight you gonna get some, that's not really scheduling it in my mind. My mind, scheduling it is like the only times we can do something is after 9 p.m. when the kids are in the bed, and like that's when and like I'm gonna shower. Like, are you gonna shower? Like, are you gonna be ready?
That
like
mundane, like you're getting
trash. Like
So-
lost me. Lost me.
Okay, so so what's the difference, right? Because I'm about to if you at work, I'm texting you, hey babe, we finna whatever later. Obviously, you know later is later in the night. What's the difference between that and me telling you?
That feels like it's a treat. It's something. It's like exciting. It's something to look forward to.
Okay.
The other thing feels like I don't know. The other thing feels like a chore. It feels like it's like something on the to-do list. You know what I'm saying?
Later. It's Wednesday. Let's do it.
No, for real. It's like, hey, are we doing that thing tonight? Like, I guess it's not the same.
Bishop, I think it's a perception thing because the way I look at it is like, if it's something that matters to you, you make time for it. But just because it's sex,
that's the way a woman would say it. And that sounds,
right? Because if it matters, but it's true.
Yes, if my mentality is, if it's something you want to do, nothing's gonna stop you. I.e., the kids being awake, running around the house. There's locks on the doors. Like, I don't care about none of that. Like,
the way that you see it is right, but I think that's risky. That's risky. That's risky.
I don't think it's risky. I think women hide behind the fact that they have kids.
First off, coming from the man that's like, oh, there's a crack in the door, baby.
No, because that's wild. Like,
but what I'm saying is, you not worried.
Explain it. No, that's OD.
I know. I agree with you. Covering the crack, I understand.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you're willing to do it when the kids is running amok, but you don't want the crack to be exposed.
Because that's something we can still cover the crack broad day when they awake. There's no like.
Maybe you're missing my point.
What's your point? I clearly am. I'm not understanding.
Because you're willing to take that risk if the kids like, okay, let's say it's during the day and we do something, we run into the laundry room. You're willing to risk the kids finding out that way, but having the crack, you're like, oh no, this crack.
Because I mean, you still take the same precautions. There's no difference between, because they can wake up and come over to the door. We could have forgotten to lock the door and they can see something. Like I'm not tripping about it.
Okay,
you
so
can take the same precautions.
It's not even about the risk. It's just the spontaneous part.
Yeah,
like,
it's just when. Like, it's not scheduling it. It's like, oh, that's just so trash.
Now, let me say this. For the people that do have to schedule, like literally they have a lot going throughout the day and it works for them. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think for certain men, certain people, scheduling it is it's a turn off. And let's talk about that conversation about turn offs, right? Because I remember I saw this, another podcast, they were talking about it. Tell me some things that women do that is a turn off for men that we may not think is a turn
Should
off.
talk about that from the beginning. That's better. Things that women do that is a turn off
that
for
we
men.
may not know.
Whew, now I'm drawing a blank. Nah, there's a lot of things.
Let's talk about them we talked about before. The whole, let's say you in the mood, you're like, come here, babe. And I'm like, oh, wait, let me shower. Like, let me clean up.
It depends on how you do it. So it's like, if you be like, oh, I wouldn't want to do that if I were you. It's like that's a turn off, because now I'm like, ew. But if you be like, oh, you want to do that? Let me go freshen up. That's different. Now it's like, oh, yeah, go freshen up. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna relax.
Okay, what is like?
That's different.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, like, ooh, you sure? Like, it's like, no, I'm not. The fuck? Sorry, like, but nah, that's crazy.
Okay, what's another turn off that we don't think about that we wouldn't know?
Another turn off is when y'all talking down about yourselves. That's annoying because we're not thinking about that. That's really annoying. Yeah, insecurity is really annoying. If you're supposed to put on something spicy and you come out and you just yeah, I'm blowing you. If you're supposed to put on something spicy, you come out and then you just lay down in something spicy and you scrolling on your phone. Like, that's not the purpose of the thing. You're supposed to come out, put your hands on the door in a weird ass way. You're supposed to turn around, like you're supposed to show it off. That's the point.
Okay, what else?
What's another thing that y'all be doing?
Me
personally, I hit the mic. Okay. Me personally, a turn off to me is when if you say something like, oh yeah, I'll get you this. What you gonna do for this? Like the quid pro quo joke. The quid pro quo joke. I don't know why that turns me off, but it's like a weird it makes the intimacy things feel like, even if you're joking, it weirdly turns me off because it feels like it's now like a transaction. It's weird. I don't know. I hate that. Okay. I don't know if I ever told you that.
No.
Every time I'm like, don't
never.
say that.
And I definitely do be playing around like that.
Yeah, and I know it's a joke, but like it's at the same time, it's like if you really wanted something, I definitely don't want to now. Because now it's like, no, I'm not doing nothing for that. Because what do I look like?
I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, you never told me that. This is brand new. Okay.
No, I didn't, yep.
Okay, what else? And the reason why I ask is because some women don't know. I think the insecurity is a big one. That's something you and I talked about often too.
For sure.
Yeah.
What's another one?
Now, is it just like turn-offs in the moment or like...
Nah, there's some turn-offs in the moment things. Me personally, I hate a bonnet in the moment.
Let me tell y'all something. A bonnet ain't never stopped this man.
It's never stopped me, but it's like, oh, please don't. Like, the bonnet is crazy. Unless you're still looking good. Like, if you look like this and you got a bonnet on, yeah, you can get it. But if it's just like baggy t-shirt, some holy pajama pants, and a bonnet, like, lost me.
So let me ask you this.
Lost me.
You know how on TikTok they be saying like, oh yeah, when she got a muumuu on, like I like the muumuu, like the long, you know the muumuus, right?
I think so.
How do you feel about the muumuus?
What's the muumuu? It's like the silky thing?
No, it's not silky. It's literally like a grandma, like a granny. It's long, but it's like pajamas, like short sleeve, like muumuu. It's just long.
Lost me.
Because some men love that muumuu look, like basically coming out in a big old gown. But it's not like a sexy gown. It's like a granny gown. No. That's what the muumuus be.
No, absolutely not.
For you, you ain't liking that. If you see a muumuu, you ain't in the mood.
Yeah, no, lost me. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Maybe if I could see if you're a shapely woman and like you could still see something in the muumuu. Okay. I guess, but no, if you just come out in a freaking cape, no.
A cape.
Lost me. Lost me.
That is funny. Yeah. Okay, so I forgot I wanted to ask you something, and it's slipping my mind. The bonnet thing I wanted to talk about too, because like, how do you feel about like during the day? So like, do you think that men appreciate a woman looking good during the day?
100%. It sounds crazy. It sounds, what's the word? Starts with an M.
Misogynistic?
Yeah, it sounds misogynistic, but it's like, yo, respectfully, it's like, now, is it going to stop a man at the end of the day from doing something if shorty wants to do something? No. Probably not. But if you're wondering why bro is not pursuing you and all day long, you're just looking like probably because you look like he doesn't want to do something. I mean, it's, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Now, what about the women that feel like you should be wanting me no matter what I look like?
She's right.
Okay.
She's right.
But you guys still have that preference.
But it's 50-50. Like, come on, you got to give me something. It's like, if it's like you work from home, you don't leave the house too often, and
Yeah.
all day, every day, you're in a barbecue sauce stained t-shirt, some baggy sweatpants, and a bonnet all day, no makeup all day, every day.
So you want to see a little makeup.
Right, like you want to see your girl done up, like the same the same way how they say men should do the same things they did to get their women.
Yeah.
Women got to do the same things they did to get their man, and I know you
that.
didn't go out with that man like that
That's
first day you met him, right?
That's true.
All right then, so
that's true. I agree with that.
Beat
And
your
that's
face
something
every now and then.
That's something that I struggle with for a long time too. Again, I think it's because it's not something I saw my mom do.
Yeah.
Some women grow up seeing their moms do those things. And so I didn't see that. And I'm not trying to blame my mom, but like, I'm just like, whatever. I'm in the house. That's just what it is. So I'm wearing shirts from the 5th grade and I got my bonnet on. And we had that conversation where he's just like, and he didn't say it in a mean way, but it was just like, he wants me to take the bonnet off sometimes, like get put together sometimes. You know what I mean? And that's okay to do that for your man. Cause you're right. Like that you got to act the same way that you did in the beginning, the same way you want our men to, right?
And,
so
and it's not an all the time thing.
Yeah.
Another thing is like you can't, like let's say you're cooking, right? You're cooking food, that's cool. Like that in itself is a turn on in a way.
Okay.
But now if you really want to turn your man on, can't speak for all men, but most men, how about you beat your face, put on something sexy, and cook him a meal and just cook. Just stand there. You mad that he watching Cooking with Kaya?
You about to be
I'm just saying,
first.
you mad that he watching that, but like respectfully, you in a bonnet, barbecue sauce stained t-shirt, pajama pants, cooking him up some hamburger helper.
Yeah.
If you it don't matter that it's hamburger helper, but if you was looking good while you was doing it, that's a turn on. Like for some reason, as a man, that's a turn on. I don't know what it is, but it's like every once in a while, do that.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see that. Okay, so now I want to talk about for the men.
Cooking with
So now I want to talk about for the men. What do you think are some things men should do also to keep that same, like keeping their women ready for them?
You
or
gotta
like,
stay in shape. I gained weight crazy.
Okay, besides staying in shape.
You gotta stay in shape. I lost weight once.
Oh,
I can lose it again.
Okay.
Have to.
Besides staying in shape though.
Oh no, you definitely gotta stay in shape.
Yeah.
You gotta get your hair cut. If not, you better invest in some fitteds. Whole bunch of things. Let me see. Wash your face, brush your teeth, wash your butt. I feel like dudes just be nasty. I can't speak for all dudes, and I also don't be around dudes when they in a personal like space. But I feel like dudes be nasty because I be seeing how dudes just be out and about, and I'm like, yo, you're dirty. I feel like some women are not honest with their men about their dirtiness. I'm just saying that just off of like how dudes just be out and about, and I know they go home to a woman, and I'm like, yo, your girl don't smell you, bro. Like you stink, bro.
I agree with that.
You dead stink.
I think the problem is some men have a lot of requirements for their wives or their women on how they look, smell, all of that, and they don't do that for themselves.
Kevin Samuel niggas.
Yeah, like you gotta look good for me, but like
they
you
weird.
Said, teeth cheesy, down there is cheesy, hair not done, face not washed, nails black. Like
that's a big one too. I think as a man, like me like when I'm at work and I notice my nails have dirt in it or I'm about to eat lunch, I wash my hands and I wash underneath my fingernails just because it's disgusting. I feel like there's mad dudes that are like mechanics and they just go home and just take off their work stuff and just be laying up like ready to eat, hands all crazy. One dude at work clowned me because he came to offer me a chicken wing like out of a Little Caesar box, and I was just getting off of work and having to wash my hands. I'm like, nah, my hands is dirty. And he was like, he's Spanish, so he was like, oh, delicado, and I'm like, nigga, you're nasty. Like, what do you mean delicado? Nigga, no, my fault. But yeah, that was dirty. That's dirty. That's a dirty thing.
No, one thing I do appreciate about Donnie is that he's very clean.
Yeah.
Like he's very clean. He doesn't like just be smelling musty all the time. Now I do love that little like when you got a little sweaty and a little cologne mix. Like I don't mind that, but like he's never
Which is crazy because I think I stink.
Right.
Like I get home from work and the first thing I do is shower. Like I can't.
Yeah.
As much as I want to just get in the bed, I'm like, nah, I feel
and
gross.
I be like, he smells so good. He just, I don't know, it's the pheromones, I guess. But I appreciate like he keeps his fingers clean, his fingernails clean. You're overall just clean.
But yeah, man, things they gotta take women out. They gotta.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Definitely got to take shorty out. And I know it sounds stupid because I know mad men, they'd be like, yo, like, I mean, if you want to do something, why don't you plan something? It's like, dude, I was about to say the other thing. Like, dude, like, you just do it. Like, it's not that deep, bro.
But I will
like, yo,
say,
we're going here.
women can do it too. So I want to preface that too. Like a lot of
Yeah.
women want their men to be the only one to initiate.
But as a man, you don't even want her to do that, because then usually y'all playing stupid stuff. You don't want your women doing the planning. Yeah,
that's if you know your
that's
man.
not true for you. But nah, women be doing like, oh, on Thursday we're going to a winery. Bro,
So
you want her to plan the trips, bro? Like, no, bro.
Yeah.
You take her somewhere, gang. Like, don't.
You got to know your man. That's true. So, like, whenever I do plan things, when I take the initiative, I consider something we both would want to do.
Yeah, that's
and
facts.
I think we're similar. That's not facts. Similar, like whatever he's willing to do, I'm willing to try, unless it's something crazy. But like we can do adventurous things. We like to go out to eat. We like to do I
think women can do it too, but I think they have to be careful, because like me, some men, like I went to the cigar lounge when I was trying to get into cigars. I don't know why I went, but I seen some dude in there and he brought his chick, and this other dude was in there and he brought his chick. They might be okay with it, but like, for you to plan a night out with your girl, that does not mean bring her to do some bro stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
That's weird. Yeah. That's weird, bro. Same thing for women. It's like, just because he tells you sometimes you can do it too, that does not mean plan a day to go strawberry picking.
I see.
You know your man, he's a mechanic. Right. Like, he's a blue collar dude. Right. He's not about to be out there frolicking in strawberry bushes. That's weird. You know what I'm saying?
So when it comes to planning, plan something that you both would want to do.
Yeah, like respect, but every once in a while, you might have to get dragged to a football game. Okay. Every once in a while, you might have to get dragged to a winery. Like, you might have to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Freaking sipping paint. I actually had fun. I had fun. But at first, you remember how tight I was? Tight. I was so mad.
You didn't know what to expect. But we enjoyed ourselves.
Sipping paint.
But I think we enjoyed ourselves just because it was me and you, and that's how we are. We just have fun together.
Because we're friends.
Yes.
Because we're friends, we can go and do something stupid and have fun.
Like going to Walmart. We go to Walmart and have fun.
That's another thing. Like, people be thinking that's like smothering or what, codependent. That's such a stupid word for that.
We just like each
other. Codependent, but like, yo, just going somewhere, I would prefer to have you with me, because now it's fun. Like, I have somebody to laugh with. That's like anything. Like, when you're young, you go and pick up your best friend and y'all just be going and doing whatever. Like, you don't even have plans for the day. You just, I'm going to go to your house. We're going to sit in your living room. Then we're going to figure out what we're going to do. It's okay to do that with your friends, but it's not okay to do that with your wife.
Somebody made that point. They said we do it with platonic relationships, but romantic is not okay.
That's really weird. Yeah. It's a weird thought. I think those people is weird.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the whole, the insecurity thing. And when it comes to intimacy, like you said, they're not honest with their men. I think it comes down to that too when it's sexual. When a woman is not satisfied, if something that her man is doing is not okay, they don't really speak up. And I think it's the same for men. Yeah. And I think that you and I mean, you could give me your opinion. I think personally, for the type of person I am, I think that I am open enough to the criticism, constructive criticism. Do you think that I'm open where you could tell me, hey, babe, I want this, or you should do this?
Yeah, you're definitely open. I think I'm just less inclined to still say something. Yeah, I'm still gonna tiptoe around it until I feel comfortable enough to say something. But there hasn't been too many instances where I feel like I can't say something to you,
right. And it's the same thing for me. Like, because I know you're very like, oh, was this okay? Did you like this? Whatever. So I think that's very important too, to keep the intimacy the way it is.
But it's the same with women though. It's like, it's easy to say, well, if you've never had your big O or whatever, then just tell him what you want. But some men got that ego, and because they've been lied to, or his ex used to fake moan or something, he thinking he got it like that, and now when he's putting it down on you, and like, it's not, you try to tell him something and he's like, what you mean? Like,
yeah, that's true too.
Some dudes are weird.
Some people are not open to it. So I guess it's kind of,
saying people are weird. People are different.
It's just different, yeah.
People are different.
But I think that, like, because I think that's, some people deal with that. Most marriages are probably not like that. Most marriages is a matter of, I don't want to embarrass the other person, or I don't want to make the other person feel bad, but that's very important.
Facts, but that's corny. If you're just laying there and it's not enjoyable for you, nah, that's not it.
Right, like, say something.
That's not it. That's a quick way to end a relationship.
Yes, both sides need to say something. Yeah. Speak up. Because I think if you don't speak up, you become resentful. Now you're trying to find it someplace else because you didn't want to tell her that you don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And she didn't want to tell you that she's not really feeling something that you do. Like, y'all are supposed to be husband and wife. Like, y'all are supposed to. But again, it goes back to that friendship component. Because we're friends, you can tell me something. I'm not embarrassed. I'm like, okay, great. You want me to do something else? I'll do something else.
I think that's another big thing about why you're not supposed to have sex before marriage. Because it's like, if you think about what the institution of marriage is supposed to be, that's a journey that you're supposed to go down with one other person, and y'all supposed to explore that and learn that and teach each other. And that's why it's so, that's why
That's
it's
another
intimate.
part.
But because this person has been with this many people, she's never been with anybody, you mad that she don't know how to do this, or she's been with this many people, you've been with this many people, y'all to get together and y'all both was with people that was trash, and now y'all together and you're like, oh, this just don't work. And it's like,
I agree.
maybe because you were polluted by this and that, and you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yep, I agree
that's
with
why
that.
it's very important to be
I agree with that.
to be with one person.
And it's funny because people in the world are like, well, they a virgin, I don't want that. Or
Yeah,
he's a
that's
virgin,
crazy.
I don't
That's
want
the way
that.
bro is. Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
crazy thinking.
Yeah.
I understand it
I get
from
it.
a
From a worldly
hedonistic standpoint. Yeah,
Yeah.
I super understand. You want a nasty freak, but
Yeah.
like, no, you don't, bro. You really don't. You really
literally,
don't. You can
literally.
turn her into a nasty little freak just for you.
Just for
That's
you,
the
and
preference. That's what
that's
you
the
want.
goal.
That's the gem.
Yeah, make her
You
your
do not want
wife.
some nasty little freak, bro. That's gross.
I agree.
Not what you want.
So yeah, we're gonna close out, but I want you to give me one little piece of advice that you have for married people right now, based off of everything we talked about.
One piece of advice?
One piece of advice based on everything we talked about. Pick one.
Men, not every coochie on earth you can get. It's impossible for you to get every coochie on earth. So stop looking at women like that's just another piece of coochie that you could possibly get. You could never get them all. So just give it up, pick one, and that's it.
Okay. Pick one and get married.
Yeah, facts.
Make an honest woman out of her.
Facts.
Right. My piece of advice is become friends with your spouse, and stop looking at like marriages that are friends where they're around each other all the time or they're talking all the time is unhealthy. That's literally the point of covenant. We are together. Right. And so for the people that we're saying that we are unhealthy, we're really not. We are just best friends. We really enjoy each other's company all the time. Like we could be doing literally anything. Even in our silence is comfortable. If we're sitting, for example, we're sitting on the bed, I'm playing a game on his iPad, he's on the VR headset, completely comfortable. Yeah. We're just doing our own thing in the same space.
We're just codependent and judgmental.
That too.
If that's possible.
Maybe. Imagine. I really don't think it's codependent though, because we don't need that from each other to feel.
I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Strong.
We're not therapists, so I mean
that's true. Maybe we'll have to talk to a therapist about it.
For all we know, I'm judgmental, and this is codependent.
Right.
Codependency at its finest. So.
Well, if it is, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. So.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So.
Whatever.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the For Your Good podcast. You can find us on Instagram at foryourgoodpod, my personal Instagram page at ZaeHudson. You can find us on YouTube where you can watch us at ZaeHudson as well. And
he forces me to do this.
Don't say that.
Kidding.
You already know how they be looking at us. They think that
I knew it.
Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see y'all on another episode. Bye.